Shedeur Sanders has absolutely shocked the fashion world and made an extraordinary debut with luxury fashion brand Amiri in Paris. This is not a drill, people. We're talking about an $80 million deal that's sending shockwaves through both the sports and fashion industries. Stay with me because this story gets absolutely wild. So here's what went down. Both Shedeur and his brother Shiloh have reportedly signed a deal worth $80 million with Amiri. Yes, you heard that right. $80 million. And this isn't just some standard endorsement where they wear the clothes and post on Instagram. No. Both brothers are reportedly going to walk the runway in Paris. We're talking high fashion, European runways, the whole 9 yards. Shedeur Sanders is literally transitioning from touchdown celebrations to Fashion Week catwalks. And honestly, I'm here for it.
Shiloh, he has a better closet for sure. He has a little bit more free time. Yeah, I got some more free time now. But we both have swag, you know what I'm saying? We get it from prime time. Yeah. He hates to say it, but everything he try to wear, our dad already did. So he think he be doing his own thing, but...
Now you might be wondering, why Shedeur? What made Amiri, this incredibly prestigious luxury fashion brand, throw $80 million at a football player? Well, let me break it down for you. Shedeur's influence has got major fashion brands competing for his attention, and Amiri knew they had to strike fast. According to reports, Amiri specifically signed him because of his massive influence in the American black community. He's been the highest-rated young player who genuinely represents the culture, the lifestyle, and the authenticity that luxury brands are desperately trying to connect with. This isn't just about selling clothes. This is about cultural relevance. This is about having someone who can bridge the gap between high fashion and street culture, between luxury and authenticity. And Shedeur Sanders? He's the perfect person to do exactly that. Amiri has got their guy, and now Shedeur has traveled to Paris and is preparing to walk that runway very soon. His stocks are rising not only on the field but also off the field, in ways that most athletes could only dream of. But here's where things get absolutely insane. And this is where you really start to understand the business genius of Shedeur Sanders. Let's rewind a bit. Previously, Gatorade offered $60 million to Shedeur Sanders to have him signed for 3 years. Now, for most athletes, $60 million over 3 years would be an instant yes. That's the kind of money that sets you up for life. That's generational wealth right there. But Shedeur Sanders isn't most athletes.
How he structured his contract. He had an equity clause in his deal with Gatorade. That clause basically said, I'm not just here as a name or a body. I want part of what's being built off of me. I want ownership in the outcome. So that clause essentially just preserved his interest. He walked away with his corrected status in the contract.
Instead of taking the one-time check, he structured the deal to get 3% ownership of Gatorade USA. Let that sink in for a moment. He turned down guaranteed money for equity in one of the biggest beverage companies in the world. This is the kind of move that separates good athletes from legendary businessmen. This is the kind of decision that financial advisors will be teaching in business schools decades from now. Even though 3% doesn't seem big on the surface, this is absolutely huge in terms of the return on investment he would be getting. Gatorade USA generates billions, with a B, billions of dollars in revenue annually. And owning even a small percentage of that empire means Shedeur will be collecting checks for years, possibly decades to come. This isn't just about making money now. This is about building generational wealth. This is about his grandchildren's grandchildren being set for life. And here's the kicker. If the stats remain the same, Shedeur would soon be the youngest NFL billionaire in his playing career. Think about that for a second. Not a millionaire, a billionaire. All while still playing football. He wouldn't have to wait until retirement. He wouldn't have to wait until he's in his 40s or 50s. We're potentially looking at a billionaire athlete who's still in his 20s, still making plays on Sundays, still breaking records on the field. Even though this billion-dollar status might seem like a far cry for many athletes, it's not for Shedeur, who has had multi-million-dollar deals on the table from other brands as well. This man is operating on a completely different level, playing a completely different game than everyone else in his generation. Long before he even took an NFL snap, Shedeur made waves by locking in a record-setting deal that had the entire sports world buzzing. At the time, The $125 million contract was unheard of for a player who hadn't played a single professional down. People were skeptical. Sports analysts, commentators, fans on social media. They all questioned whether he deserved that kind of money without proving himself in the league. But Shedeur didn't care about the noise. He knew his worth, and more importantly, the brands knew it too. But things escalated fast. The moment Shedeur stepped onto the field for his first preseason action, Nike activated a special active player clause that instantly doubled the value of his contract. Just like that, his earnings shot up to a jaw-dropping $250 million spread across the next 4 years. And the deal wasn't just about salary. Shedeur also secured an unheard-of 50% cut from all his jersey sales, giving him a stream of income that put him in a league of his own. Think about that for a second. 50% of jersey sales. When was the last time you heard of any athlete getting that kind of deal? While other rookies were celebrating their standard endorsement deals and posting their signing bonuses on Instagram, Shedeur was already operating on a completely different level, in a completely different stratosphere.
Shedeur Sanders has sold the most amount of jerseys out of any rookie this year, 375,000 jerseys to match his NFL contract.
This made Shedeur not just the highest-paid rookie in NFL history, but also one of the most influential athletes in any sport. What was even more shocking was that he was already outpacing big-name prospects like Cam Ward and Travis Hunter, even though he wasn't selected in the first round as many expected. Let that sink in. He wasn't a top pick, yet he's making more money and more moves than guys who were. In other words, Shedeur proved that draft position doesn't define success. Business savvy and timing do. The NFL draft is important, sure, but it's not everything. What matters more is how you leverage your platform, how you negotiate your deals, and how you position yourself in the marketplace. Shedeur understood this from day one. While other players were worried about their draft stock, Shedeur was building his brand, securing his partnerships, and laying the groundwork for an empire. Shedeur Sanders never shied away from sharing his business-first mentality, and it was clear that his influence stretched far beyond the gridiron. Beyond his record-breaking Nike contract, he had been steadily building a diverse empire that would make most entrepreneurs jealous. From launching his own apparel line to introducing a signature barbecue sauce brand, teaming up with EA Sports for exclusive gaming content, and securing a massive partnership with Brady, Tom Brady's wellness and apparel company, Shedeur positioned himself as more than just an athlete. He became a brand powerhouse.
Best qualities, I'm always smiling. Yeah, I'm always smiling, that's for sure. I'm heavily involved in the business. I have a vision, and I like to see it be achieved. My purpose and my vision is to be in position to have all the resources I ever need and be able to use them, for people that's coming later on in the generations and later on in my years.
Each of these ventures wasn't just a side hustle or a quick cash grab. They were strategic moves designed to maximize his earning potential and establish his presence in multiple industries. The apparel line taps into his massive young fan base. The barbecue sauce connects with his Southern roots and family legacy. The EA Sports partnership keeps him relevant in the gaming world, where millions of young fans spend their time. And the Brady partnership? That aligns him with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and positions him as a future legend in the making. What makes Shedeur's journey even more remarkable is how he's managed to stay authentic while building this empire. In an era where athletes are often criticized for being too corporate or losing touch with their roots, Shedeur has maintained his connection to the culture. He represents a new generation of athletes who refuse to just shut up and play. They understand their value, they understand their influence, and they're not afraid to monetize it in ways that previous generations never imagined. The Amiri deal is a perfect example of this. Luxury fashion has historically been dominated by European aesthetics and perspectives. But brands like Amiri recognize that the future of fashion is diverse, urban, and heavily influenced by Black American culture. Hip-hop, streetwear, sports. These are the forces driving fashion forward. And Shedeur Sanders is at the intersection of all three. He's the perfect ambassador for a brand trying to stay relevant and authentic in 2025 and beyond. So what can we learn from Shedeur Sanders? First, know your worth and don't be afraid to bet on yourself. Second, think long-term. Equity beats salary every single time. Third, diversify your income streams because your playing career won't last forever. And finally, stay authentic, because that's what makes you valuable in the first place. Shedeur Sanders isn't just changing the game, he's rewriting the entire playbook for what it means to be a modern athlete. From the football field to the fashion runway, from Gatorade boardrooms to Paris Fashion Week, this young man is building something that will outlast his playing career by decades. What do you think about Shedeur's $80 million Amiri deal? Is this the future of athlete endorsements? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on Shedeur's incredible journey. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.